Good evening, everyone. Welcome you all to the 13th session of the 16 Days of Action Against Gender-Based Violence webinar series organized by International Youth Alliance for Peace. And once again, I'm Hasanki Kasturia, and I'm very excited for today's session and to host it as well. So let me brief you an introduction about IYAP as well. It's an inspiring youth-led organization that's all about making the world a better place. Over the past decade, it has focused on building peace, standing up for human rights, and empowering communities. So today is important as we held this webinar series, which is affiliated to 16 Days of Action Against Gender-Based Violence, a global camp by the United Nations to tackle the serious issues of violence against women and girls. So let me have the honor to welcome Ms. Gabby Friday, an esteemed gender expert and a passionate advocate for social justice and humanitarian causes, with extensive experience as a gender-based violence trainer and a clinical management of rape trainer for the United Nations Population Fund. Ms. Gabby has dedicated her career to empowering communities and addressing critical social challenges. And her impactful journey spans roles with renowned organizations such as AIDA ONG, Caritas Lebanon, and the Lebanese Red Cross, where she led psychosocial support and gender-based violence prevention initiatives. Holding an MBA in Management in Social Work and a bachelor's in Social Sciences, she combines academic excellence with her real-world expertise to drive sustainable change. And before we listen to her, let me give a warm welcome to our audience today. So your presence shows how enthusiastic and how it is important for you to address this challenge as in a collective way. So let me quickly brief you through the session, what plans for today. So first we'll hear from Ms. Gabby as she share her knowledge and experiences. After that, we'll open the floor for questions only for Zoom audience. In that moment, we'll be stop sharing live in YouTube. And then finally, we'll be wrapping up the session with some thank yous and taking a group photo. So it's time to begin now. So let me hand over the floor to Ms. Gabby. Ms. Gabby, over to you.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for joining me today, and it's my pleasure to be part of this amazing initiative. And as mentioned before, yes, I have like more than 10 years of experience when it comes to gender-based violence, and I'm currently working with AIDA, which is an INGO. I also mainstream protection, gender inclusion, and the project that are funded by AIDA. So let's start with a quick thought experiment. Imagine a young woman named Sarah. She's been enduring domestic violence for years. And finally, she decides to seek help. Who do you think she turns to first? Is it gonna be the police, a family member, the neighbors? Who do you think she will seek support from first? Well, Sarah is not gonna seek support from any of the mentioned before. Sarah reaches out to a local community organization. Why? Because she trusts them. They're local, approachable, and they've been supporting women like her for years. Community organizations play a vital role in supporting survivors like Sarah. And let me break down why. First, these organizations are part of the community. They understand local dynamics, culture, and barriers. Sarah knows she can approach them without judgment or fear of being misunderstood. For instance, a rural areas organizations often double as a lifeline, I mean, for a survivor who may have no other access to support. These groups or organizations don't just stop to addressing the immediate crisis. They provide a holistic approach. For example, let us imagine Sarah not only receives counseling, but also she receives legal aid, skills development, and even help finding housing. Like, it's about empowerment, and it's not just survival. Organizations also work tirelessly to break the stigma around gender-based violence. Have any of you seen awareness campaigns in your communities? Maybe like something like posters, radio ads, or workshops? These campaigns saves lives. Trust me, it does. Because they tell people like Sarah, you are not alone, and help is always available. And like we are always here to support you. So let me tell you about another woman. Of course, I'm gonna change her name because just for privacy reasons. But there was this woman called Amina, a community organization, and her area provided her with a vocational training while she was recovering from trauma. Today, she runs her own tailoring business and she also mentors other survivors. So this is the power of community organizations. So like you can see it gave provided access to accessibility and trust, to holistic support and advocacy and awareness. So now let's turn the focus to you. Imagine you were starting your own community organization. What would you prioritize? Is it gonna be like an emergency shelter, legal support, awareness campaign? Let's brainstorm together. Feel free to share in the chat. So I'm gonna give you like 2 minutes for this. I'm gonna repeat what I said. So you have to imagine you were starting your own community organization, okay? What would you prioritize? Is it gonna be an emergency shelter, legal support, or awareness campaigns? Thank you for everyone like sharing their response in the chats. طيب, now we talked about like the community organizations. But how about like creating and strengthening support networks and safe spaces? Let's shift gears. Imagine you are part of a tight-knit community that has recently faced a crisis. And a group of women comes to you and says, we need a place where we feel safe, where we can talk, heal, and support each other. What would you do? This is where the concept of support networks and safe spaces comes into play. Like, think of a spider web. Each stand alone is weak, but together they create a strong supportive network. A support network is like that. It's about connecting people to share resources, advice, and emotional support. For instance, in one community, women created a weekly group. They didn't just share their struggles, they helped each other find like jobs, access healthcare, and even babysit. Now let's talk about safe spaces. These are environments free of judgment and harm. They can be physical spaces, like a community center, or even virtual, like an online forum. Imagine the power of a WhatsApp group for survivors in a single neighborhood. This idea, it's very simple, but it is life-changing. Let's try something else. Imagine you are designing a safe space for young women in your community. What are the three most important things you'd include? Would it be like confidentiality? Is it like access to counselors? Drop your thoughts in the chats, of course. Okay, so now I will be sharing a real life example that I have faced in one of the organizations that I used to work in a refugee camp. Like there was this group of women who created a safe space by teaching each other sewing. It became more than just a place to learn. It was a place to heal, to laugh and support each other. It was like very successful. So like if you want to recap as a recap, support networks are like unsafe spaces can also be creative. Like it's not about just talking. It's about like doing something in it, like adding something as an add-on to it. Um, think of using libraries, maybe, gyms, or even coffee shops as a safe space. The key is to adapt the community needs. So let's end this with a challenge. What's one step you can take this week to straighten a network or create a safe space in your community? Think about it and share your ideas. Who knows, you might inspire someone else here to act. So, back to you. I see like some of you are adding their answers to the chat set. Okay. So now we will go with Hasanki for question Q&A.
Yes, Miss Gabby, thank you so much. And I would like to take the actually I love the example you got, the spider web. So without being active like individually, if we come as a collective aspect, we can make it much stronger. So in that sense, I would like to like give you a question. What can communities do to support these survivors better? Now, you spoke about awareness sessions that would surely support, that would make it actually well. And what are the other support that we can give as an organization, as a collective aspect? Yeah.
That's a great question, actually. Like, communities are like gardens. You can't just plant a seed and walk away. It takes nurturing, attention, and care. Like, to support survivors, communities need to create an environment where survivors feel seen, heard, and like believed. This starts with awareness campaigns, in order to break the stigma surrounding gender-based violence. It's also about education, teaching bystanders how to intervene safely, and neighbors how to spot signs of abuse. For example, a local grocery store could put up posters with hotlines numbers so survivor know where to turn. And let's not forget the power of compassion. A supportive smile or "I'm here for you" can mean the world for someone in crisis. Don't you think?
Yes, I believe in power of compassion, truly. And when we talk about compassion and the legal sides, so how can let's first go to local organizations. So how can local organizations help survivors to feel uh, safe in their like in the current environment they are facing any violence?
Yeah, I got you. So, like, imagine yourself, you are walking into a space and instantly feeling like you're home. That's the vibe like local organizations need to create. They can do this by like building trust, offering confidentiality, and ensuring survivors feel respected. For example, like having staff members who speak the same language or understand the local culture can make a huge difference. Organizations should also provide services like transportation to shelters or free legal aid, removing barriers to safety. And it's not just about the services, it's about the people. A warm, non-judgmental attitude can turn a hesitant survivor into someone ready to rebuild their life.
Yes. So, what about youth? So now you talk about respect for women or a girl. So how would you think that how we can lead youth in this aspect?
Okay, like having like youth-led organizations or like youth initiatives where we spread awareness about gender-based violence, where they provide like awareness sessions or like where we can train them on how to provide like PFA, where how to like how to start like PFA or PSS sessions. So this is how we can include youth in this.
Yes, that's great. And so when we come to like saving somebody from any violence, so what makes space feel safe? Like we could be with a crowd, we could be with an organization who support us, but still we could feel alone, or we could feel not safe. So in that sense, what makes the space feel that this is secured, this will help us?
Yeah, well, we can like هيك say that a safe space, it's like a warm hug. It should be like هيك welcoming, non-judgmental, and secure. It starts with like the physical elements, like when a survivor like approaches a place like where there's a good lighting, comfortable seating, and privacy. This is where it starts. But emotional safety is just as important. You know, survivors needs to know they won't be blamed or judged for their like experiences. And also like having trained staff who listen without interrupting or offering solutions too quickly is key. Even small touches like calming music or cup of tea can make someone feel like they've entered a good place where they can breathe and they could just be themselves.
Yes. So, in that case, like, would you think storytelling and media? I believe storytelling and media has a key space when it comes to that aspect. So, how would you see it? Media and storytelling in the sense of strengthening community support.
I'm sorry, my internet was interrupted.
Yeah, so in that sense, I would like to ask how storytelling and media would be a better combination to address the issue.
Yeah. So what's the most okay, let's think about a memorable campaign or story that you've seen on social media. Like maybe it was like a heartfelt video or a simple post that stuck with you for days. So that's the power of storytelling combined with media. It reaches people in ways facts and statics not only numbers can help us to reach people. We need a story that appeals to our emotions, making like abstract issues feel real and personal. You know, instead like of saying we have like one in three women, everyone and three women experience gender-based violence. Media can tell the story, like for example, of Layla, who was a survivor who overcame the challenges with the support of her community. This is how like storytelling and media are very important.
Yeah, so when it comes to media, then media is a better way to address the issue. But when it comes to women and girls, we feel, or like the whole community feel unsafe, or any like feeling not sharing it to media, not making it public, that would affect their personal life as a girl or a woman. So how would you see that like insecurity they feel when sharing it to media, or even telling it to somebody else, not even to organization, but somebody who is very closer? I think our host has some technical issues, so I kindly uh, let you know that let's wait a few minutes until she joins back. Thank you. So due to the technical issue that our speaker facing, we'll be now closing YouTube live only. So thank you for the audience who joined us through YouTube. Your presence here today made it really impactful, and we wish to see you in our future sessions as well. We'll be only closing YouTube live. Zoom, we kindly invite Zoom audience to stay right there. We'll be back with the speaker soon.